and well done for making it to week 3. So you're over halfway through the sculpting challenge. So brilliant start. Keep going, get to the end, and you'll feel really proud of yourself, okay? How are you finding the ball workouts? Hope you're enjoying them. We've got another different sequence today. We are going to start focusing on the back chain of the body. We do then do some side work and some core in there as well today. As always, do what you can. I am going to start with the back chain. If you've got any back injuries, please go in gently. Take a modification if you need to. Okay, so we're going to start lying down on our bellies. So you're going to come down onto your fronts. Now I'm going to pop my forearms, so just above the elbows, onto the ball. Palms of the hands, one hand on top of the other. Now my arms are straight, okay, pressing down into the ball, so I'm active through the shoulders, and my head is kind of glued in between the arms. So my head's not on the floor, it's looking down, but it's glued in between the arms. So keep pressing down into that ball, so you're applying pressure to activate the shoulders. Now I'm going to exhale, lift one leg straight up. Inhale, pop it down. Exhale, lift the other leg straight up. So I'm alternating, lifting one leg at a time, trying to reach the toes towards the wall away from you, not twisting the hips. Think of a dart shape, trying to make one long line. Now, if this feels accessible, try and lift both legs at the same time, but please make sure they're not bending as you lift them. If they are, go back to singles, okay? Still applying pressure into the ball with the arms. Arms should be straight. Pressing down into the ball, head is glued in between the arms. And again, thinking of that beautiful dart shape that you are creating. Exhaling as you lift the legs, squeezing the bottom, thinking of the back chain of the body. We're going to go for 2 more here. Last one, big squeeze, lift and hold, and then lower the legs down. Feet stay on the floor. I'm going to roll the arms up the ball. My head comes up, eye line looks forwards. Both arms straight. Control as you extend, come back down to reset. So as I roll my hands up the ball, I'm lifting the chest, draw the belly in, eye line looks forwards, control as you come all the way back down to that dart. So it's all about coordination and control, moving the ball as well. Even though we're working the back chain of the body, be sure to draw the belly button towards the spine so you're active through the tummy. Trying to keep the shoulders relaxed. There's no tension between the shoulders and the ears. Feet are staying down. Last 2 here. Each time, maybe the range of movement's getting a bit bigger. We've got 1 more time here. So really great to work the back of the body. And then what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to bring that ball. You might need to use the hands for some assistance. I'm going to pop the ball underneath the chest. Okay, so the ball's underneath the chest. Hands come behind the head. Elbows are wide. Exhale as I lift the chest slightly. Inhale as I curve around, bring my elbows towards the ground. So I'm going to exhale as I lift, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale as I curve around the ball. So I'm simply taking a little mini back extension here to get the upper back really working. You want to have that strong, sculpted upper back in between the shoulder blades. Exhaling as I squeeze the elbows together, controlling as I curve the body over the ball. Can you lift and hold that squeeze? So squeeze the elbows together, bring the elbows towards the rib cage now, and then reach the hands forwards. And again, I pull the elbows towards the rib cage and then reach the hands forwards. Eye line is looking down at the floor. There's no creases in the back of the neck. Both feet are firmly on the ground and my body is completely into this ball. It won't pop, I promise. So squeeze the elbows to the ribs and then reach forwards. Try and get the fingertips to touch. We'll do 3 more here. Big reach, lengthening forwards. Last 2. Still drawing the belly button towards the spine and still squeezing the bottom here. Moving slow. 1 more time. Big pull. Sliding the shoulders down the back and then reaching forwards. Pop your hands down onto the floor. Be careful as you push away. Bring the knees underneath you, arriving on all fours. Take a cat and cow with the spine. Eye line forwards, chest lifts. Gently, chin to chest, curving the back. We need to take a few of these because the back is obviously curved the other way. So this is called a counter pose. So you inhale as you open the chest. Exhale, give your back time to round off to come the other way. The muscles might be a bit stiff, a bit rigid. So go delicate here as you move through this nice mobilization. Last one. And then we'll gently bring our bottom to the heels. Bring the ball with you. You're going to place the ball just behind my heels, my feet. Popping both hands onto the ball. A little camel press. See how this feels? I'm going to press my hands into the ball, lifting the chest. And if you can, I'm going to lift the bottom slightly as I press my hips forwards. Inhale as you reset. Bring the bottom back down to the heels, okay? Show you again. So push the hands into the ball, lift the chest, press the hips forwards, open out through the entire front body, and then control as I come back down. If you don't want to lift the bottom, you could press into the ball and lift the chest and then pause there. You don't have to lift the hips as well if that doesn't feel right for you, okay? I'm going to do one more of these. So pressing into the ball, lifting the hips, opening through, and then gently coming back down onto the bottom, lifting up through that ball. Let's make our way down onto our left sides when you're ready. So I'm going to pop the ball between my ankles or just above the ankles, okay? You see it's just above the ankles. I'm going to pop my head into my left hand and have my right hand behind the head as well. So elbows are wide, chest is open. Make sure you're on top of the hips, not the fleshy part of the bum. We're going to breathe out as we lift both legs. Inhale as we lower. Okay, so exhaling as you lift. Now you've got to squeeze that ball together. Now by doing that, it's going to make you activate your inner thighs as well. Okay, so we're going to work the inner thighs slightly here, as well as the hips, the glutes, and the tops of the legs. Your obliques will kick in because we're taking a little side bend at the same time. Think about the posture as you pull both elbows back. Okay, trying not to roll onto the fleshy part of the bum. Let's lift and hold. So lift and hold. Now I want you to squeeze the ball. I'm going to squeeze, woo, and release. Squeeze and release. Now you might not be able to see anything necessarily happening, but I'm pressing, releasing, pressing, releasing. So my thighs are kicking in, my inner thighs as I squeeze, release, squeeze, release. I'm going to do 3, keeping the legs both up, 2, last 1. Now we're going to pop the legs down. Now using the right leg, I'm going to roll the ball up, press my right knee towards the ceiling, and then control as I lengthen away. Now you really have to control and coordinate this ball here. So it takes a little bit of concentration and a little bit of coordination, but you're sliding the ball up as the knee turns out, and then control as you lengthen that leg away. Try not to roll back onto the fleshy part of your bum. Remember, we want to keep the hips pressing forwards. Now this is going to work the inner thigh, tops of the thigh, foot, calf, a bit of everywhere really, to be honest. Let's go for one more time here. Smooth roll as it comes up. And then we're going to lengthen out. Keep the ball. You might want to readjust. I'm just going to make mine come forwards a little bit more. So the ball is just above the ankles again. Now pop your left arm on the floor in front of you. Pop your head down. We're going to V-crunch. I'm going to roll back onto my bum cheeks as I reach up towards both legs. And then press the hips forwards as we reset and come down. So you roll back slightly, reach up the legs, and then control onto the hips, pressing forwards, reset. 2 more of these. So draw that belly in, rolling back onto the bottom, control as you reset down. Last one here, reach all the way up towards the toes, control as you come down. Now keep the ball there. If you can, smooth transition. We're going to roll onto our back. Okay, so I'm on the back, palms of the hands down by your sides. The ball is still between, just above the ankles, okay? Right, activate the tummy. We're going to lift both legs, bring the ball up towards the ceiling. Just moving my mic. And then control as you lower the legs to a point that you feel comfortable. We go again. I'm going to bring both legs up to the ceiling. Squeeze that ball, control as you lower, make sure the back is not lifting. Okay, one more time here. I bring the legs up and then control as we're going down. Draw that belly in. This time, as I bring the legs up, I'm going to complete a full rollover. Going to lift the hips, take the ball towards the floor overhead, and then as you roll down, try and bring the feet as close towards the face as you can. As you roll through the spine, and then take the ball down towards the ground. Let's do that twice more if you want to. So I lift the legs up, I come all the way over, lift the bottom, the feet tap the floor overhead, and then slowly rolling through the spine, bringing the legs, trying to brush it past the face as you roll down. Lower those legs to a point that you can go to without lifting the back. Last one here, we sweep all the way up and over, squeeze the ball, rolling over through the spine and control as you make your way down. Let's all meet with our feet over hips, so feet up towards the ceiling. We're going to abdominal crunch, take the ball out, glue the feet together, and then bring yourself down. The ball comes overhead. So everyone's got their feet over the hips. You might want to bend the knees if your legs are getting tired or if you're feeling it in your back. We're going to exhale, abdominal crunch, pass the ball behind the legs, and then take it overhead as you come down. I then go the other way. I pass the ball behind the legs, circle as I come overhead. So I'm alternating which hand passes the ball behind the leg, keeping the feet lifted over the hips, knowing that you can bend the knees if you need to. Coordination, passing the ball behind the legs. If you cannot reach behind the legs, maybe you'd prefer to pass the ball in front. Okay, so those are the sort of modifications you can do, passing in front or bending the knees if you want to. Don't leave the head behind, remember, the chin comes to the chest and you're sliding the ribs down towards the hips. We're going to do 2 more of these, exhaling, lifting. Inhaling, lowering, one more time. And then we take the ball in both hands. Bring the ball to the chest. Lift the head and shoulders up. We're going to bend one knee and extend the other leg to a hover. So a single leg extension. I invite you to alternate. Each time your knee is going to touch the ball without the ball moving. So I go tap, tap, tap. So shoulder blades lifted. Ball is over the chest. One leg is extending to a hover while the other knee is coming to tap the ball. So I'm going to go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down. Take a full body stretch. Lengthen arms, lengthen legs. Have a moment to breathe, okay? And then when you're ready to, join me, we're going to roll onto our right side. So you could just roll over this way. I'm going to turn around just because I like to talk to the camera. I know that I can't see you, but I like to talk to you rather than to the wall. So let's set ourselves up on the other side. The ball is above the ankles. The right hand is behind the head. Left hand's behind the head. Hips are stacked. We lift both legs and lower. Okay, so exhale, lift. If this is too challenging, if you're finding that you can't get the legs up, take the ball out and do the top leg only. Know that you've got all of these modifications, okay? I'm simply doing the whole class with the ball for the whole point of this summer sculpt challenge, okay? So we're keeping the hips stacked. Hips are facing forwards, elbows are coming back, and we're working our breath out as we lift those legs up. And you're doing so well, okay? Lots of different exercises, quite tough on the coordination, on the concentration. So please don't worry if your ball is flying around everywhere, because we have all been there before, I can promise you. Lift and hold. I'm going to squeeze and release. Squeeze and release. So you press the ball and open. So like I say, you can't probably necessarily see anything happening, but both legs are lifted. We're not rolling back, and I squeeze, my inner thighs kick in as I try and squeeze that ball together and release. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Popping the legs down. Use the left leg to slide the ball up and then control as you lengthen away to reset. Don't be afraid to fidget if you need to fidget. I'm going to shimmy my ball up a little bit higher because I know that I've got a bigger range of movement than that. So if you need to shimmy around, I want this left knee pointing up towards the ceiling, and as you lengthen it away, try to press the hips forwards so that we're not rolling back, not yet, okay? Both elbows are wide, so we're open, we don't want to be round shouldered, and everything is tight, everything's scooped and hollowed in here, yeah? Using that breath as you turn the knee out and finding our control as we lengthen away. So a little different, but different sometimes really good. It's good fun, okay? Let's go for 2 more of these, last 2. Doing so well. Trying not to go too quick, trying not to rush it. Last one here. And then we glue the ball between the ankles. Remember, the right hand comes on the floor in front of you. The head goes down. This time you do roll back onto the fleshy part of the bum to reach up, and then control as you press the hips forwards. So I roll back onto the fleshy part as I V-sit crunch, lifting both legs up, squeezing the ball there so it doesn't drop out, so we can engage our inner thighs at the same time, and you reach as high up those legs as you can, towards the toes, past the toes. Think of the tummy. Last 2 here, last 2. And then one more time to finish. And then once again, delicately, we roll onto our backs. Delicately, she says. This time we're going to bend the knees. Take the ball into your hands, okay? Both feet are flat. Knees are parallel. Head and shoulders is down. I'm going to pop the ball on top of the right thigh. Okay, so right thigh. Now, I'm going to use a little bit of momentum with the right leg and the ball to get myself up into a crunch. Have a look is the best thing to say. I'm going to lift the right leg. I'm going to roll up, extend the leg away, try and reach up towards my toes, and then bend the knee as I roll back down. So I extend the leg, roll up, taking the ball up towards my foot, and then I bend the knee as I roll back down, head to the floor. 3 more times. So extend the right leg as I roll up, roll down the ball, bend the knee, finding your way back down to the floor. Last 2. Exhaling as we come up. Inhaling as we go down. One more time. So extend and sweep up. Control as we come down. Let's go straight onto the left side. So lifting the left leg. Ball is on the thigh. I'm going to extend the leg first as I lift the head and shoulders and roll up. And then I roll down that left leg as I bend, put the head down. So you use that momentum a little bit through the left leg to get yourself up. And then it's quite a nice way to stretch out through the hamstring by lifting up. And it will help you get your chest high as well. Okay, so breathing out as you come up, extend and sweep. Control, bend and come down. Last one here, extend and sweep. Control as you come down, both feet on the floor, ball overhead, coming into a roll up, so bringing the chin to the chest, the ball to the knees, lengthening the legs, come all the way up to seated, ball onto the thigh. Now use that ball to roll down to find a hamstring stretch. So see how far the ball can go. You might be able to get it past the feet, rolling all the way down. Hinging from the hips, chin comes to the chest, but you're using that ball to assist yourself to wherever you can go comfortably. Taking a gorgeous breath in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Taking time to lengthen, to open out these hamstrings. Using that ball to assist. And then peeling yourself all the way up, taking those legs wide into a little straddle while we're here. So this time, making sure the weight is not on the fleshy part, pressing your hips forwards, pushing the legs wide. Now I'm going to pop the ball onto the inside of one leg. And again, I'm going to use that ball as an assist to roll down to see how far I can comfortably go on this side, using that ball as support. So that ball is helping me, it's lifting the floor height, and it's allowing me to explore how far I can go into this little side bend, this inner thigh stretch here. Taking a gorgeous breath. Now, this is week 3, so know that your next session is a sweat session, not a stretch one this week. We are sweating. So the last session of this week is no equipment, and it is with that timer to get that heart rate lifted again. So let's stretch the other way, rolling down the inside of that leg, exploring, seeing how far you can go, using your breath as you do so, using that ball for support. So this ball is not only great to make your exercises more challenging, to work the core, it will give you some assistance when it comes to stretching as well, okay? So don't be afraid to use it for all sessions. Even if I don't give the option of adding it into a class, know that you could add the ball in whenever you want to, okay? Let's peel all the way up, slowly bring those legs back together. And I hope you enjoyed that third ball session of your challenge. Let me know, give me some feedback. I honestly want to know how you're finding it. And I hope you enjoy your sweat session at the end of this week.